Hello Internet, and today's video is going to be another book opinion. Those videos in which I tell you my opinion on a book, and today's book is going to be The Love Interest by Cale Dietrich. And this was a really good book for me. I really enjoyed it, and I was surprised because I just thought this was going to be okay book for me. Not something that I would hate, but something that I would be okay with and enjoy myself. But I ended up actually really enjoying this book. 4, I guess, right? It was wow, I like this book for what it does more so than how it does it. I'll explain. So this book is about an organization called the Love Interest. They're a super secret government organization. They work internationally, and their goal is to raise and train people so that they can be secret love interest operatives. And the goals of the agents that they train is to infiltrate the lives of the rich and the famous and potentially become the rich and the famous's lover. So whatever person is on their mark as a person who's potential to be rich and famous, who is rich and famous, who has some sort of power over the world or would have world secrets, they want to try to hook that person up with a love interest so they could have an inside man or girl. So what I love most about this book is this book follows the love interest, but it follows from the male perspective. We learn there's a lot of different versions of the love interest. There's a female love interest, but I particularly love that this book is about male love interest, right? We're not going to bother with females, we're talking about males. And this follows the story of 2 boys. It's told through the perspective of 1 boy, but it's 2 boys, and they are now pitted against each other, both of them love interests, and they're supposed to win the hand of 1 girl, and the person who doesn't win gets decommissioned permanently. So that sounded really dramatic, but that's how this book is. It's like drama queen dramatic sometimes. So what I love most about this book is, again, that it focused on the male love interest, and it really put into perspective and really showed the audience how horrible it is when you objectify a person. And I thought that was so great for this book to do, because a lot of times we talk about objectification specifically when it comes to females, and we are so used to it, and I feel desensitized to it, that sometimes anyone, be it male, female, or whatever you identify yourself as, becomes desensitized when someone is trying to point out the objectification of a female, because it's just something we're so used to. We've seen it since we were young. It doesn't really seem like a big deal when you're so used to that thing happening. Yes, we do have objectification of males happen periodically, but it's not to the extent of it being their only value. So when I think of objectification, I think of a person's only value being placed on whether or not they look good. They hold no other value other than looking pretty, as if they are an ornament. And that happens to women a lot in entertainment, in media, where women are put down to a value of an ornament. That's the only value they hold. That is it. Yet men can be thought of as handsome and sexy, but we understand and oogle at them with the same idea in mind, that they're smart and they're intelligent and they're just pretty badass characters. I mean, when Thor rips off his shirt in his movies, we're like, ooh, you look good, but we still know that he's an amazing god who can now control lightning, swing around a hammer, and mess with his dear brother Loki. He is not just hot looking. He's a lot more than that, but just hot looking happens to a lot of female characters. So now that I'm done with my tangent, I just want to say that is something we're so used to. So to see that happen to males, we fully get to contextualize and realize how horrible it is to do that, because we are now seeing that happen to an audience we don't traditionally see that happen to. So a lot of times in this book, we see this main character and he's just do you know how tiring it is to do so many sit-ups and so many push-ups for my abs to look like this? You think this is a game? This is not a game. We're not playing, we're not joking. I literally, the only way I can survive is to do this. And you know how much I want to sleep or eat like a Dorito chip or whatever, but I can't because my life depends on this. And now that I think of it, that happens to a lot of movie actors. If like you study their like workout schedules, they're really rigorous, and I feel bad for the dudes. Like, I love how they look in the movies, but I feel bad that that is what they are expected to do, because that's super tiring, that the only value that you're going to have is to look good. And this book just depicts that. It shows how badly it messes up these characters, that they're constantly told to their face, you hold no value other than looking good. And even when they're clever, even when they're smart, even when they do something really cool or amazing, the person ahead of them, the person who's in charge of them, tells them, you're clever, that's cool, but remember, your only value is looking pretty. So they hold no value other than looking good, and it just really messes up their minds, and it really affects them. I think this book, other than having that, is really just a dramatic book, if that makes any sense. Like, you know how when we use the word drama queen and that sort of drama, it just like escalates to an extent so fast that I'm just like, wow, that's really dramatic, and is put in there for the dramatic intents and purposes, because we go from like, we're learning about love interest to, oh, what's going on with like the love interest company and all of this sort of stuff. And like, if you read the book, you probably know what I'm talking about. I don't want to spoil it, so I'm just gonna say that sometimes the elevation and escalation that it goes is just like a drama queen's way of saying something. Like, it's a very dramatic way of doing it. It's not any less enjoyable, but like, you're just like, what? Okay, I'm in it for the drama. It's like when you say you don't like drama, but you know you like drama, so you're like in the background like, tell me what's next, but you're at the same time, you're just like, why does this have to be so dramatic? That's kind of how this book reads. So I like the book. I like it best for its portrayal of objectifications and the negatives of it, and showing us in a light where we fully can contextualize how horrible objectification is, because it shines on someone else who don't usually tend to associate with objectification. So The Love Interest is a book if you're interested in those sort of conversations and those sort of flips of scenarios. I do want to mention one little thing that I think those of you who have read this book will probably catch on, but isn't really a spoiler. And I think this author got cheated on at one point in time, because they don't take too kindly to that, and that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say, but I thought it was kind of hilarious when I was reading this book, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, no forgiveness for you, and it was funny. It was funny to me, like, kind of morbidly so, but it was. So comment down below if you get what I'm talking about and if you've read this book. Also comment down below if you like when books take like social commentary, flip it on its head, and show that same thing happening to a people or a group of people who don't traditionally suffer from that social issue. And if you like and you value that sort of depiction. I know I do. I liked when they had those little pictures where it had that flip where it was like Asian women having their feet done by white women, or like a white girl standing, and there was just a whole series of black Barbie dolls. And then like I saw one with men where it was like a all female president set, and then there was this little boy looking really sad just seeing that. And I like when they do those sort of things and they flip it on the head and they really just show you how important it is that these are things that happen to people, but by showing it to you from the point of view of someone who that doesn't traditionally happen to, you sort of grasp the concept, because you're not normalized to this picture, so now you realize the full implications of those sorts of actions. So if you like what you're seeing here and you want to continue to see more, click all those bunnies down below, and goodbye, internet.